Look at this shoe. It weighs 97 grams, which is less than a bar of soap. It was built to survive exactly 26.2 miles before falling apart. On April 26, 2026, it did something Nike spent a decade and millions of dollars trying to achieve. It officially killed the 2-hour marathon barrier. While the world looked at the clock in London, the real story was happening in the boardroom. Sabastian Sawe didn't just run a 1:59:30. He ended a corporate monopoly. Today, we're going behind the scenes of the Adidas Evo 3, the engineering that stole the crown, and the psychological games behind Nike's subtle, 5-word response. To understand why this race matters, you have to realize that for Nike's founder, Phil Knight, Adidas wasn't just a competitor. It was the final boss. When Knight was a runner at the University of Oregon, Adidas already owned the track. In his memoir, Shoe Dog, Knight recalls that the early days of Nike were fueled by a David versus Goliath obsession. He didn't just want to sell shoes. He wanted to take the track back from the three stripes. That rivalry eventually evolved into a proxy war in hip-hop. In the 2018 hit Sicko Mode, Drake famously rapped about checks over stripes. This was a direct shot at Kanye West, who had famously defected from Nike to Adidas to build the Yeezy empire. Drake was declaring his loyalty to the swoosh while mocking Kanye's ties to the three stripes. Nike has spent decades using culture and athletes to ensure their logo is the only one associated with elite performance. Sabastian Sawe's win in Adidas is a return to the very era Phil Knight spent his life trying to escape. In 2017, Nike turned marathon running into a laboratory experiment with the Breaking 2 project. They used a private track in Italy, a laser-guided pace car, and teams of world-class pacers to form a human wind shield around Eliud Kipchoge. Kipchoge eventually did it in 2019, running a 1:59:40. But there was a catch. Because of the controlled conditions, it wasn't an official world record. Nike owned the idea of sub-2, but they didn't own the reality. They spent years building their brand on being the only company capable of this feat. Sabastian Sawe just shattered that illusion. He did it in a real race, against a real field, with zero help from pace cars. He took Nike's greatest achievement and handed it to Adidas in front of the entire world. The weapon of choice was the Adidas Adizero Adios Pro Evo 3. This is a piece of disposable aerospace engineering. Adidas technicians literally stripped the shoe to its sole. They shortened the laces to save 2 grams and removed the rubber from the heel because elite runners don't land there. The secret is the Lightstrike Pro Evo foam. It is nearly 50% lighter than previous foams, yet it delivers an 11% greater energy return. In a sport where a 1% increase in running economy can shave minutes off of time, Sawe was wearing a mechanical advantage Nike wasn't prepared for. This shoe is like a Formula One car for the feet. It costs $500 and is designed to be retired the moment it crosses the finish line. To truly understand the mechanical advantage, we have to look inside the midsole. Buried within that ultralight foam is a set of carbon fiber energy rods. These aren't just stiffeners. They are designed to mimic the bone structure of the human foot. When Sawe strikes the pavement, these rods act like a springboard, returning energy that would normally be lost as heat and friction. Nike pioneered this with their carbon plate technology, but Adidas has refined it. While Nike uses a single, rigid plate, the Adidas rods allow for a more natural toe-off. It's a subtle difference, but over 50,000 strides in a marathon, it's the difference between a world record and second place. We are no longer just watching a test of human heart rates. We are watching a competition between physics and material science. In psychology, there is a concept called attribute substitution. When we see an athlete set a record, our brains look for the easiest thing to credit. We can't see Sawe's lungs or his years of training, but we can see the translucent, white shoes on his feet. Adidas knows that if they can associate their logo with a historic milestone, you will subconsciously believe the victory belongs to the shoe. They want you to think that by spending $500, you are buying a piece of that record. It is why Sawe's first move after crossing the line wasn't to hug his coach. It was to hold his Adidas shoe up to the camera. That wasn't just a celebration. It was a high-value commercial. Nike's response was a masterclass in passive-aggressive branding. On their main Instagram feed, They posted a stark graphic that read, "The clock has been reset. There is no finish line." The caption didn't celebrate the new record holder. Instead, it focused on their own athlete, Eliud Kipchoge, talking about unwavering belief and human potential. They acted as if the marathon world is a game only they and Kipchoge play. However, Nike's social team left a small "well done" to Sawe in the comments. Why hide it? Because acknowledging the winner on the main post gives Adidas free advertising. It admits defeat. By burying the congratulations and keeping the caption on Kipchoge, Nike tried to keep the focus on their own brand while looking like a good sport in the shadows. Adidas released a very limited number of these shoes right before the race. They sold out in seconds. By Monday morning, they were hitting the resale market for over $3,000. People are paying the price of a used car for a shoe that is literally designed to fall apart after one race. This is the ultimate scarcity play. Adidas has successfully taken the hype culture of luxury sneakers and applied it to elite performance. While Nike was focused on lifestyle sneakers, Adidas went back to the track and built a world beater. Now that the 2-hour barrier is officially gone, the goalposts have shifted. We are now looking at the era of the sub 159. Reports are already surfacing that Nike is fast-tracking a secret prototype designed specifically to beat the weight of the Evo 3. The competition is no longer about who can run the longest. It is about who can engineer the least amount of resistance. Sawe's win didn't just give Adidas a gold medal. It gave them the psychological upper hand. Runners no longer believe they need the swoosh to be the fastest. That image of Sawe lifting his Adidas shoe with WR written on the sole is something Nike cannot buy back. Sabastian Sawe is proof that the talent pool in Kenya is now being fueled by German engineering. Adidas has been aggressive, pouring money into extra drug testing to ensure their athletes are bulletproof. By funding nearly 25 out-of-competition tests for Sawe in the months leading up to London, Adidas ensured this win couldn't be questioned. They are protecting their investment and making sure that when an Adidas athlete breaks a record, it stays broken. Right now, Adidas is executing the Nike playbook better than Nike. Nike's Breaking 2 was a masterpiece of marketing, but Sawe's 159.30 was a masterpiece of reality. The swoosh is in a state of reactive panic. They are posting about resets, focusing on their own legends and captions to distract from the loss, and hiding congratulations in the comments. Adidas didn't just build a better shoe. They leveraged the psychology of the win. They waited for the perfect moment in London to show the world that the 2-hour limit was a mental cage. As the smoke clears, the clock hasn't just been reset. It has been stolen. We are moving into an era where the race isn't just between runners, but between the labs that design their gear. Sabastian Sawe is a legend, but right now, Adidas is the one cashing the checks. I'm curious to see where you stand on this. Does Nike's comment section congratulations feel like smart business or just a lack of class? And would you ever drop $500 on a shoe designed to fail after 4 hours? Let's settle it in the comments. So if you're into these deep dives, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Catch you in the next one.